So I was sitting this weekend and I was thinking, what is the thing that brings me the most amount of annual income at the end of every year within the various sectors of the entertainment industry that I work? I am a producer, a songwriter, I work with other artists, I'm a photographer, a videographer, I am a touring artist as a solo artist, I'm a touring artist in a band. So I do a lot of things that cover a lot of ground within the entertainment industry as a whole and creativity. But the number one thing that stood out for me when I looked at my finances and assessed which is the sector that brings me the most amount of income annually, that is songwriting. So I thought for this video this week, I'd share a couple of things with you guys that I've learned over the years that have made the biggest difference in my songwriting and the success thereof. These things have really helped me actually get songs out there and have success with songwriting. So today we're going to look at a couple of things that I think will help your songwriting as a songwriter and maybe just change the game a little bit for you. And if you don't agree with some of the things I'm saying today, please leave in the comments below what your opinion is on it. Songwriting for me is a topic that is always open for discussion. So I'm always keen and available to hear everybody's ideas around the topic. And maybe I can learn something from you guys that have written songs and figured a few things out for yourself. But before we get into the video, I just want to remind you guys to please head on over to our channel, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for instant notifications, give us a thumbs up, because that just makes you a nice person if you give the video a thumbs up, and I'll really appreciate it. But more importantly, leave a comment down below and share this video with someone who you think could benefit from these ideas. And once again, these are just my personal ideas. They're not the law of songwriting, but hopefully they help you and help you guys achieve a better outcome with songwriting. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. Number one, collaboration. For me, songwriting is collaboration. It's the number one thing that makes a good song. How many global hit songs were written by one person? Very few. I'm not saying it is impossible. I'm just saying there's very few global hit songs that were written by one person alone. But more than likely a producer came in after that song was composed by this one person and then added more to it to make it the song that people eventually knew. And that producer then got a 5%. So was it really written by one person? I don't know. But what we do know is that it is very seldom that a song written by one person actually becomes a global smash hit song. So writing with others is really important when you're trying to achieve the best outcome with your song. Collaborate, get songwriters in and share your ideas and hear their ideas. Don't be too precious about an idea, but be honest at the same time. If their idea is not so great and you're not feeling it, be honest, and vice versa. Everybody in the room that is composing on the song should be honest, and that way you can actually achieve a great outcome. It's honesty with collaboration. So write with a bunch of trusted songwriters, people that you know are good at what they do, and I guarantee you, I think you will find a better outcome within the song you're trying to write, and you might learn quite a bit from these various writers in the room on that day while writing that song. So collaborate as much as you can when it comes to songwriting. All right, number two, music rights organizations. As a songwriter, you want to protect your intellectual property, because when you compose something, you want that song or that composition to be protected. And that is where the various music rights organizations come in. In South Africa, we've got SAMRO, the South African Music Rights Organization. In America, there's BMI and ASCAP that take care of songwriters' intellectual property. So if your song gets played on radio or on a TV show or anywhere, really, these organizations will then track down those royalties and make that payment to you. If it's a global royalty, it generally takes about 3 years to do a full round trip and end up in your bank account. If it's a local royalty within the territory of your relative music rights organization, it should take you around about 18 months to receive that royalty from the time it was played on radio, or at least started to be played on radio. So make sure that you protect your intellectual property. When you buy a house, you insure your house in case something happens to that house. Not many people have the amount of money lying around to just rebuild a house if it gets blown down by a tornado. So you insure that house to prevent you and your family from being in a terrible financial situation should something happen to that house. Now, a song is the same thing. If you've written a song, you want to protect it and make sure no one steals that IP. So Music rights organizations will then protect it for you. You compose something, you register it with them, you register all the relevant songwriters on the title, and now your song is protected by the law of that country and that music rights organization. So protect your music, folks. All right, number 3, journaling. Always keep a journal with you, a notepad, maybe Apple Notes on your iPhone, or whatever it is you like to document things by text or audio. Make sure you've got something with you all the time as a songwriter, because more so often than not, you'll be standing in the shower and an idea will come to mind, or you'll be driving home from work and an idea comes to mind. And the best thing to do in that scenario is to actually pull over. Make sure you pull your car over, please. We don't want to have accidents, but pull over and journal that idea down, or record a voice note of the melody, or whatever it may be. Document that idea, because you may forget it later, and that very idea may be your next hit song. So make sure as a songwriter you carry a journal or something that will enable you to document an idea on the fly wherever you are, whenever creativity strikes. Keywords for writer's block. If you have writer's block, one of the biggest things, and writer's block is completely normal within any form of creativity. If you have a block when trying to write something, don't feel despondent. That's completely normal. Maybe take a step back and don't continue trying to write that song. Go and find inspiration by going for a walk, or reading some text somewhere, reading interesting articles around the topic you're trying to write about. But one of the things I wish I'd learned sooner in my songwriting career so far, which dates back 20 years now already that I've been writing songs, is keywords. Keywords is a big thing for me when it comes to writer's block. If I feel like I'm struggling to get a sentence out or struggling to find a hook, I just start writing down a bunch of words that resemble how I'm feeling or the story that I'm trying to tell. If I want to write a love song, for instance, but I'm not finding the words, I write everything down in keyword form that reminds me of the person I'm trying to write the song about. And if you don't have a subject for the song you're trying to write, that makes things really difficult. So try and stick to subjects that are close to home, maybe things that have inspired you in your own life. Just make sure that you jot down a bunch of keywords, and all of a sudden you'll find you may start seeing a story unfold within those keywords, and now the ideas start growing and the sentences start coming and the hooks start getting developed. So if you have writer's block, just start jotting down a bunch of keywords around the idea that you want to write about, and you might find some success in a song, and you might find that you start breaking through that writer's block a little bit, and you actually end up writing something for that day. Alright, the next thing is structure and melody. Now, structures are super important when it comes to writing music for radio. Now, I know that radio is not the most important thing anymore because of the way that DSP works and the way that songs are getting featured on YouTube channels, etc., etc. But radio is still pretty relevant when it comes to royalties, and people still listen to radio, especially in countries like South Africa. There's still a lot of people listening to radio. The numbers have not dropped that much. In actual fact, I think they actually increased over the last year and a half with COVID-19. People were listening to more radio all of a sudden. So when writing a song for radio, please bear in mind that radio likes a specific structure and they like to get to the point quick. They want to know what the hook of the song is within the first 30 to 40 seconds. If your hook only comes in at a minute 30, you've got a problem. Radio is probably going to skip on over to the next track in that listening session on a Friday morning when they're deciding what songs are going to get playlisted for the new week. So make sure you get to the point quick. There is your typical radio form: verse, chorus, bridge, double chorus, out. That works on radio. It just has worked for many, many years. And if you go and look at many, many hit songs on radio now, even today, and on your Spotify top 10 lists, you will notice that they are sticking to that form or a form very similar to that. 5-minute songs very seldomly get played on radio. Not to say that they don't get played, but your chances are far better with a 3-minute 30 piece of music than what they will be with a 5 or 7-minute piece of music. So go and check out some big hit songs, go and review their forms and try and write your songs within those forms, and you might find that you start getting a very commercially friendly outcome with your songwriting. But along with structure is obviously melody. You want to make sure that you have hooks in your songs. You want to make sure that you have things that people can latch onto. You want to have a big hook. And a friend of mine, a fellow songwriter, once said to me that she feels that the biggest hooks always start with high notes and then go down the scale. I've tried this before and it really does work actually. It was a bit of a game changer when she told me about that. I was just like, what? Sure. That's actually really cool. And I started listening to music on the charts very differently now because I started noticing that. Not to say that every hit song has that melodic structure going on, but it is definitely one that helps enhance hooks when hitting choruses or bridges or even verses, if you want your verse to be the hook part of the song, which is a very sort of upside down way of looking at it, because normally the chorus is the hook, or maybe there's a post-chorus tag section that's the hook. But if you can find hooks within your verse, hooks within your pre-choruses, your choruses, your bridges, the more hooks you have in a song, the better the song is going to perform to the layman ear outside just listening to the music and listening to the song. So try and write as many hooks within one song as you possibly can. The chorus does not have to be the only hook in the song. And then the last thing I want to touch on today is unfinished ideas and foldering. If you have 50 unfinished ideas, songs that you have not been able to complete, do not feel despondent. Just go folder those songs on your computer somewhere, store them somewhere, but then title the folders. Adult contemporary, hip-hop, country music, love songs, ballads, whatever. Make sure that you can easily access the library of songs or ideas you have composed within folders with their various genres. Make sure that your folders are genre specific to your ideas, and store everything you write because you never know when you may need it. Because I know some publishing houses will send out bulk mails and say, in the next 2 hours, I need 4 country music ideas for this artist. And if you have these folders that are really nicely, neatly arranged, where you can actually see which genres are which, you can dive right in straight to that country folder, and you can go and have a listen to the ideas and forward them on to your publisher in the hope of actually selling a title or a song, or even an idea of a song. If you have a verse and a chorus, it is worth pitching. Always pitch as much music as you can and send as much music out there as you can, because that is the way you're actually gonna get songwriting jobs. But if you are a performer yourself, then it is obviously a different story. But don't let being a performer yourself cage you in as a songwriter. Make sure that all the things you don't want to use for yourself, you try and sell to other artists to capitalize on the overall royalty income that will gather from all the titles of music that you have sent out to the market in that year or over the last 10 years of songwriting. So never lose your unfinished ideas. Always store them, because you never know when you may need them. And by storing them in genre-specific folders, you'll be able to access them really quickly and on the fly should you need to send something fast in order to get the job as a songwriter or a composer for the various artists that is looking for something. Well guys, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for sticking around. And once again, these are just my ideas, and these are just tips that I think can potentially help any songwriter going forward in the world of composing for artists or for themselves. So if you disagree with any of these ideas, please share that down in the comments below and let me know, because I'd like to learn from you guys as well. Or if you have more ideas, better ideas than these, or maybe you've refined some of these ideas, like the keywords one for instance, you may have a better approach to writer's block. But please share it down below and let us know. I would love to learn more from you guys as well, and just keep the conversation going really. Once again guys, please head on over to the channel, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and visit www.thehitlab.co.za. There is a music section over there. You can go and have a listen to a couple of songs that I've written, but I am an artist as well, so go and check out Howie on Spotify. You can see some music that I've written and I've put out to the market. Well guys, that's about it. I have not much more to say for this week. It's been fun. I hope you guys have a good week. Go and write some songs. Send me those songs if you have written some. I'd love to hear them. Maybe we can collaborate one day. But until then, have yourselves a fantastic week, and I'll see you at the next one. Peace.